Well, hey there, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So, as you can see from the picture there, that's some of my family's collection of cast iron. So, you can see where I got my love of use to cast iron as well. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to restore some skillets and also to season them as well. It takes time and some elbow grease to get them back to where they need to be, especially the shape these were in. But if you put the love into them, you'll get the love out of them, not only in use, but the food that they give you. Anyways, stick around with me. Thank y'all. So these are the pieces I'm going to be working on for y'all about restoring, and then I'll show you the seasoning processes at the end. It's 2 skillets here. One of them was a number 6 Lodge. It was a little bit older. It's a 3-notch Lodge. It's probably, I guess, around the 50s and 60s when it was made. And then the other one was a little newer, probably in the 80s, 90s, I'd say, when it was made. It was in a group of pieces that I'd bought from a fella. These were in the pretty rough shape. This one wasn't too terrible on the outside, but y'all can see from the inside there, it had some old crud on it and needed to take out old seasoning. And this is the number 8 skillet. The inside was kind of okay, but still it needed done. But this outside, whew, somebody had abused it and didn't take care of it, and that's the result you get of when you don't season right and don't take care of it. But good thing with cast iron, it's pretty resilient if you give a little time and effort, like I said at the start, and elbow grease, you can get it back. But it takes a little time, but I enjoy it, so I'll get into it and dig into scrubbing for y'all. But I got me a good old Brillo pad because I don't mind. I'm going to take off the old seasoning anyway. You're not going to use one on it normally. And then just some Ajax, so soap and water. Now you can use soap and water on cast iron. You hear people say, oh, you don't use it. What it was, they said that you couldn't use it beforehand because the soaps had lye in it, and lye is what takes off your seasoning. But nowadays soaps, that they don't contain lye in them, so occasionally you can use soap and water on, and it's not gonna hurt. So that was the first scrubbing on that one there. It was just soap and water and little Brillo pad scrubbing, trying to get all off that I can get off. Just me scrubbing a little elbow grease and scrub time, and they came kind of clean, but I didn't get all of it off that I needed off. So once I got it scrubbed down, kind of just dried off a little bit before I'm gonna start applying my cleaning product. Now you can clean cast iron if you're trying to strip it down just to the bare metal there. You can clean it with like a lye tank, or you can do electrolysis as well. But if you don't have the means to do electrolysis, or you don't want to do the lye bath, you can do this method that I'm going to show you, and it's the easy off oven cleaner. Now you want to get the yellow top kind, because that's the one that contains the lye, and that's what you want to help strip off the junk there. You see that one there, it's still all that's got to come off. Now it did a little scrubbing stuff, got some of it off, just me, but still it's gonna have to get some time and love with that easy off to get some of that junk off of there, because like I said, I bought them from a fella, and I don't know what all those poor skillets had been abused and went through, so I want to get them back to square 1, 0, just the metal, so I know what I'm working with. So once I've got them dried off the best I can, I'm just kind of looking at it to see what all I got to do and what all's got to come off probably. But you can see on the outside of that one, it's okay, but that inside there, you see that old black crud seasoning stuff, and that's got to come off, because I don't want that in there. So you can see it's the easy off oven cleaner there, and you want to use the yellow top. And when you're spraying this stuff on, don't be conservative with it. Just squirt and squirt and squirt it all on it, in every crack and crevice of it, just to get all that junk off. And two, there's a little trick you can do to help get this stuff off even more, which I should have done, but I thought, well, I think it's going to take it off, so I went ahead and just sprayed them like they were. But I'll show you when it comes on up what you can do to help get this junk on off. But also, when you're spraying it on there, like the spots that are heavier with the seasoning and junk that you want to get off, you can target those areas heavier when you're spraying, which is pretty much common sense. You got a rougher area, you can tackle it anyway with the oven cleaner. But you can see there's just spray and spray and spray and spray. And I think I used like a can and a half on both of these spraying wise. And you see just covered there. And once you get them covered good with the cleaner, put them in like a heavy duty trash bag and just let them sit. And it's better too if you got like a warm environment, so you can sit it outside in the sun for a while, so that'll sit and work. And again, it's just spraying and spraying and spraying on this one too, and letting it sit in the bag. Again, just hitting the areas that need hitting stronger than the others, like the inside of that one. You saw around the outside of the inside ring of the pan, it had it worse than any. But spray and spray and spray. There you see. You're just, like I said, just spraying it. And once you get it done, again, it's just putting it in the bag here, and you're going to let them sit. Depending on how bad crusty they are, you'll let them sit probably about 4 to 6 hours. And like I said too, if you got a warmer environment, say you can sit them outside in the sun, it's going to help this work off. But for these, the first run, I let them sit for 4 hours in the trash bags, just to let that sit and work off. And then I came and checked on them again just to see how they were doing. And right here, you'll see the cleaning process of the first run on them. So it's just basically taking them out of the bags and start washing them off and scrubbing them again with just soap and water. And then I also brought in just a Scotch-Brite pad just to add a little bit more scrubbing power for me. Now you don't want to use something that's too abrasive, because you don't want to scratch up your piece too much, because you can see people use like a wire wheel or something like that. You don't want to do that, because you can get your cast too slick, and then it won't accept the seasoning, and then you're going to have trouble sticking all the time, and that won't be no fun. So you want to leave it still kind of rough kind of feeling, but you're going to get all the old seasoning off. So it's then, like I said, just soap and water here, and that's just Scotch-Brite pad just to start scrubbing and getting off all that I can get off, and all that the first run of the Easy Off oven cleaner got off. And this pan did pretty good. I knew I needed to do another run with it, with the Easy Off, but the outside of it turned out really good after that first run. But it wasn't too terrible covered with any too bad old burn on crud. The outside of it was actually in decent shape, especially for as old as it was, being made around the 50s and 60s. But this one turned out pretty good after the first run. But again, like I said, it takes time with getting pieces that you want to start back over with. Now you can also, they say you can put it in a self-cleaning oven and just burn it all off, but sometimes the oven can kind of get too hot, and if the piece is bad thin, you can actually kind of burn up your piece, and then the piece won't accept seasoning after that. So I'd rather myself either scrub on it and let the easy off do it, or do a lye bath as well and let that do it instead of messing up the piece. So you saw there, the inside of that one was okay, but it still had some stuff, but the outside, it turned out pretty good. But I went ahead and just sprayed it all over again, as you'll see coming up after I get this one scrubbed off. And me and my little scrubby there, we had a war. It kept falling off and falling off on me. I kept shaking around. But you can see right there all the stuff that already starting to come off, but still, this pan, I don't know what they were doing with it. I guess they were just not cleaning it after they got done with it, or burning on grease and just leaving it. You can't do that, or your piece is going to end up like this. So after you get done with your piece, make sure you wash it off good, dry it off good with soap and water, and then do a light seasoning on it every time. Because if you keep doing that every time, that piece is going to last and last and last. It'll last longer than you will, probably. But again, it's just scrubbing all I can do to get all off. But right here, I was realizing when I got on the outside, I was like, yeah, this one's going to definitely have to have 2 or 3 more times just to get off that old crud that was baked on or burnt on or whatever they were doing with it. And you can see the water there that was pouring out of the old seasoning that was starting to come off, which is good. That's what you're looking for. And I was just feeling there just to see what it felt like, see if it was any gonna try to come off. And I could tell some was loosening up, but still it was on there. So I knew the inevitable of number 2 was coming up for them. I've got to do it again. So, but I enjoy the time process of it, because I know the results of what it's going to look like, and then the results of the cooking that's going to come out of it. That's going to be good. Plenty of good cornbread and biscuits or cakes or whatever else can come out of it. So, and right there you can see the inside was okay. Still some needed to come out there, but that outside still, ugh. Don't do this to your pans, people. Be nice to your cast iron, and it'll be good to you. So, number 2 here was coming up for this. Got to do the second coat. I should have went ahead and done my little trick you can use on them, but I thought, well, maybe it'll come off. But if you do have a piece like this, you just go ahead and do the little trick that I'll tell you to do, just to get it to come off a lot easier. It'll shorten up your time. So again, it's just knocking off some of the excess water from them, and then spraying them down again. And you can see there, as the rust was kind of already forming on that, which is a good thing kind of that you're seeing, because you know already that you're getting down to bare metal. So don't be alarmed. He's like, oh man, it's rusting, it ain't doing no good. Well, you are kind of doing good, because you got down to the base metal there, and that's what you really want, because you want to start down at ground zero there, so you know you're working with a fresh pan instead of where in the world these have been. So again, it's just spraying on heavy good, and this was just the little pieces of this can I had left, but I was able to squirt it on out there to get enough to cover these pans. I was shaking the can just to get it out, but it had enough to cover. And you can see there, it's still fighting with my daggum scrubber there. It kept running away and falling off. But those work extremely well for cleaning off cast iron. Those little scrubbers, you can use the soap in it like I said initially, but if you don't want to use the soap, you don't have to. It won't come out. But again, squirt it down, chunk it in your bag, and let it sit. And then just repeat for the other piece if you got any more, or if you're just doing one, it's just squirting down it good, heavy, and letting it go. And for these, I let them sit for another 4 hours just to let the easy off work. And you can let it sit longer too if you need to. These I could have let them sit probably around 6 hours or so, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have took off some of that crust that was all on the outside of that pan there. And you see I was trying to focus on that area a little bit heavier, trying to knock it off, because that lye is what works to get off that old crud and burn on the stuff that's there. And that can was on its last legs. I was just shaking and shaking, trying to get it all out of that I could get. But like I said, don't go conservative with it. Spray it on it heavy. So I'd say if you're working with one pan, get at least 2 cans. 2 pans, at least probably 3 to 4 cans, just to be on the safe side, so you know gonna have enough to cover them if they're in bad shape. So again, just putting them in the bag and letting them sit, and you just sit and relax and eat you some popcorn while they wait. So again, that's just the number 2. And this is the trick that I'm talking about. You can see there's still some crust on that one, but that one it was in pretty good shape. But I went ahead and did the little trick. So what you do, put it in the oven for around 10 minutes at 200 degrees, so you can get the pans good and warm. And once they're warm, you can take them out. Just be careful, because exactly 200 degrees ain't gonna feel too good against hot skin. So get them good and warm, and then spray on the easy off. And when you do that, it helps tremendously to get all that junk off there. And you can see the steam coming off the pieces, and that way it helps to able to break up that stuff a lot easier. And also, when you're doing this, have a fan on good, because it don't smell the best, and the fumes probably aren't the best for you as well. And also wear some gloves, because that easy off can be a little kind of irritating to your skin. It doesn't bother me too bad, but I went ahead and wore gloves anyway, just to be easier to clean up. And if it did get on me, it's not gonna hurt me. So again, it's just spray it on liberally all over it, and then it's in the bags again. They go. Just spray. Don't be scared to spray it on there. And then back in the bag. And too, you can probably see on that one a little bit, it was already starting to blacken up and turn loose of that junk that was on that pan. And this was the number 6 here. It wasn't too bad, but I figured I'm gonna go ahead and spray it anyway, just to cover it and get off anything that I might have thought I missed or wanted to get off, just to make sure. And sprayed it again good all over on the inside. And you see the kind of the steam coming off them again. That just helps to get off and loosen that junk that's on there. Once it's sprayed, just again in the bag it went. And again, I let these sit for another 4 hours. So if you're doing a piece, your day might be took up, but it'll be alright. But this is after the 3rd round of scrubbing and washing with soap and water. You can see it knocked off all that stuff really good. Now you see on that pan it looks like it might have some stuff on it, but it didn't. That was just the way that pan was. It just had that on there. And that one's inside, and then that one's inside. They look really good. Now you can see the kind of the rust on there, but that's what you're kind of looking for. You want it to come off. Now, season I'm using the BuzzyWaxx here, and I actually won this can in a giveaway that they had. So this was my first time using it on some pieces, but man, I was extremely happy with the results I got from it. It did great for seasoning. And if you'll stick around to the end, you can see the results it had with some eggs that I'd fried up. So right here, you want to get your pieces warm again. So I put them in the oven for 10 minutes at 200 degrees just to get them warmed up. That way the seasoning is going to soak into the cast a little bit better. And also, cast being porous, it's going to get down in them pores better and help to seal for your seasoning in there, and that's what's gonna make your cast iron non-stick. So I like using shop towels, or you can use a microfiber towel, just something that's not gonna leave lint and stuff all over it. I like the shop towels because they're tougher too. So again, it's just starting your seasoning process. I use the BuzzyWaxx here and just rub it all over, everywhere that you can see, handle, all the outside and inside good. And then once you've got it covered with your seasoning, you want to take back off kind of what you did. So it kind of seems counterintuitive, but you don't want all the excess on there because you'll get gloopy, sticky spots and it's not going to turn out good. And then you're going to have to take off what you did. So put a very light coat on, then kind of take that light coat off so it looks like the piece is dry, and then you can start getting it in the oven to start the seasoning process. So now I'll start on my inside here. It's just rubbing her down good, and it helps getting it warm too with the BuzzyWaxx because it actually has the beeswax in it, so it's a little kind of stiffer, but once it gets warmed up, you can see it starts melting pretty quick. And again, be careful because it's 200 degrees there, and 200 degrees against your skin doesn't feel that pleasant, especially if you haven't worked with stuff that's too hot. So make sure you have your hot pad or something handy. And you see there, make sure you got good light too. So when you look and you turn, you see if you missed any spots that you needed to, of drying it off and also of putting on your initial seasoning. So now you can see I'm coming back over what I just did of wiping on and wiping off now. Kind of like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, wax off. Make sure you get all that excess off, because like I said, if you got too much on there, you're going to get gloopy and sticky spots, and you're not going to have the non-stick surface that you want. And you see there already after one coat, this skillet already looks extremely good, especially compared to what it used to look like. And I'll have before and after shots too at the end, so stick around so you can see those results as well. So again, just rub it on your shop towel or microfiber towel, whatever you have. And it's just same as the other, just cover it all over, handle crevices and cracks and everywhere else, all on the outside, inside, and everywhere, because you want to cover up them pores and help to get it non-stick. And neat thing about the BuzzyWaxx too, it gives off a really kind of, I don't know, it's a unique smell, but it's very pleasant. I guess it's kind of the smell of burning a beeswax candle or something. It smells really good, so it's kind of therapeutic while you're doing it. So, and they have different types seasoning. They've got 3 different ones. This was I think the original was the one I used, and it was on a giveaway. Like I said, I won it. They had it on Instagram, and I figured I throw my name in the pot, and boom, I won. So I was extremely excited to use it. I have used in the past of seasoning stuff of canola oil and then avocado oil. The avocado oil I think works a little better than canola, but canola works really good too if that's all you have. You want to, too, when you're seasoning, get it up to the smoke point of whatever it is, so you're burning off that oil to help season. And a lot of times too, if you have pieces that are sticky and stuff like that, what it was when it was seasoning, it didn't get up to its high enough smoke point, so that's when you get a piece too that won't be non-stick if you're having trouble with your cast iron. So see there, I was turning it because I was seeing a spot that I didn't hit. So again, make sure you got good lighting so you can see any spots that you missed. So again, now it's just wiping off what I'd wiped on, so I don't have any sticky and bad spots. And then once I've got it all wiped off, it's gonna go into the oven. And there you see what it looks like after the first coat. And you're gonna do this, or I do this, at least a total of 3 times of this season. So it's gonna go in the oven face down at 500 degrees for 1 hour. So I set my timer there for 1 hour, and then it's just let them ride in there, and then let them start cooling down, let them get down to where you can kind of handle them, and then it's just repeat that process. And this was after 3 times of seasoning there with the BuzzyWaxx. Looks like a brand new skillet. I mean, they look tremendous compared to what they used to. That's their insides, and then I'll flip them around and let you see the outside of them. So look at that, man. I was extremely happy with the results of the BuzzyWaxx, and also of just how they looked compared to what they did. And if you'll keep your cast iron clean and dried and then lightly re-seasoned every time, they're going to continue to look like this, and you can continue to use that piece for years and years and years to come. And you can give it to your kids or grandkids, or use it as a weapon against somebody, which I've done before. If you know my story of me against my brother with a frying pan. And right there's the results that you want. If you got eggs that stick, you won't have them sticking no more if you season your skillet right. But anyways, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.